holidays. So are you guys happy or bored? What? How?
Always happy.
Any plans out of station, out of Bangalore, out of India, like Vijay sir?
No plans.
Okay, so let's get started with this meeting. And for every meeting, we need to go over some rules. So first rule is kindly keep your phones on silent, no matter how fun your ringtone is. Give me a thumbs up if you're done. Okay, amazing. The second rule is that kindly refrain yourself from talking about sex, religion, and politics. You can talk about festivals, your favorite food, your favorite dog, favorite zoo, anything you want. No restrictions there. Last but not the least, kindly only walk in and walk out of the hall and walk around the hall only when you hear an applause. You know how? Now, this is Navratri season. Do you guys know? Just yesterday the Navratri started. And the one thing I like about Gujaratis is that they put sweet in everything. Just like the people. The people are sweet, the food is sweet. Doesn't matter if you get diabetes, just eat the food. You'll feel much better. And the person I'm about to introduce also has a sweet tooth. Even though he cannot differentiate between coffee or tea, but still, he has a sweet tooth. And his favorite food is puri and chana. Although if I'm imagining it with sugar, it doesn't exactly sound good. So don't imagine, don't try also. So kindly give huge round of applause to the president of the Bangalore Toastmasters Club, Toastmaster Jose Paul.
Thank you, Shreya, for that very interesting introduction. Thank you very much. And good evening, dear Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
Wonderful to see all of you and welcome to the Bangalore Toastmasters Club. I call to order meeting number 144. Let's hear a big round of applause. The minutes of meeting number 1447 was uploaded by our secretary, Toastmaster Prakarsh, Anand. He will now present the highlights of the meeting. I request all of you to withhold your applause until the minutes are passed. Toastmaster Prakarsh.
Good evening, dear Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
Last meeting number 1447, held on 27th September 2024. There were 27 members and 15 guests present during the meeting. The best speaker went to Toastmaster Shivangi Bhat. The best role taker went to Toastmaster Puneeth, Suraana. The best evaluator went to Toastmaster Abhay, Kothari. The best tag team player went to Toastmaster Kenneth. The best table topic speaker, there were two actually, was DTM Vijay Anand, and the second was Toastmaster Shashank. The word of the day was vivacious, meaning attractively lively and animated. Example, I am looking vivacious today. And the theme of the day was setback, a setup for comeback. To know more, visit our YouTube channel, Bangalore Toastmasters Club.
Members, are the meeting in order? Are the minutes of the meeting in order?
Yes.
The minutes of meeting number 1447 stand passed. I see some guests amongst us. May I request them to please rise? Good to see all of you here today. Thank you very much for joining us today. I'm sure that you've come in search of improving your public speaking skills, and you will definitely have an enriching meeting. Dear members, how do we welcome our guests? Thank you. I now request our committee members to please rise. Yes, we are the committee of the Bangalore Toastmasters for this term, and you can reach out to any one of us if you have any queries on Toastmasters or joining our club. especially our BP membership, Toastmaster Brian D'Souza, who would give a small briefing on Toastmasters after the conclusion of our meeting. Thank you. Yeah, please take a seat. Thank you very much. One of the longest and most expensive investigation in the history of FBI, America's Federal Bureau of Investigation, was that of the Unabomber. This criminal targeted several universities and some airlines. So the FBI codenamed this case as Unabomb for University and Airline Bomber. The media referred to him afterwards as the Unabomber. Over 150 full-time investigators, analysts and others were part of the investigation team. From 1979 up to 1996, when he was arrested in the state of Montana, he had created panic and fear in the USA, even threatening to blow up planes. He mailed and hand-delivered a series of increasingly sophisticated bombs that cumulatively killed 3 persons and injured 23 others. Finally, when he was caught, he was sentenced to consecutive life terms without the possibility of a parole. He died by suicide in June 2023 at the age of 81. He died as a terrorist. Now let's go back to the 1950s in Chicago, which is over 2,000 kilometers away from Montana. There lived a very young Polish-American boy, Ted Kaczynski, of working class parents. He was a very brilliant boy and he was permitted to skip 2 terms in his school to attend Harvard University at the young age of 16 years. He was found to have possessed a IQ of 167, which is above the IQ by one of the genius of our time, Stephen Hawking, which was 160. He earned his master's and his doctoral degrees from the University of Michigan. And he, at the age of 25, he became an assistant professor of mathematics in the University of California, Berkeley. He even published, one of the papers that he published was so advanced that only 10 or 12 of highly accomplished mathematicians in USA could understand it. He suddenly decided to quit and resigned on June 30th, 1969. He had a strange goal: to live a simple life, become self-sufficient and live anonymously, or rather autonomously. So he took up a small cabin in Illinois, near Montana, and where there was no electricity or running water. He had little money, but he did odd jobs to support himself. He read by handmade candles, by the light of handmade candles. He was really angry and upset with the destruction of the wilderness around his cabin. So he decided and resolved to fight against industrialization and destruction of nature. But sadly, the path he took was of terrorism. Dear Toastmasters and guests, Ted Kaczynski eventually became the Unabomber. A life that seemed that was poised to become great, he lost his way in middle and died to be remembered as a terrorist. Now, some of the greatest mathematicians that we know of, even Carl Friedrich Gauss, as well as our own Srinivas Ramanujan, had faced tough challenges, endured it, and are still remembered for the great work that they have done for mathematics. So, actually, as they say, deeds decide and drive our destiny. We can be what we choose to be. So, we have to make the right choice and take the right action. And we can make our lives extraordinary. So, Toastmasters is actually one such platform which helps us make us extraordinary because it promotes better thinking, better listening, and better speaking. To lead us through this meeting, we have a person who is definitely extraordinary because he is one of the few persons, actually one of the two people in the state of Karnataka and a handful in the country who have served in the capacity, in the positions of the judiciary, the executive, and the legislature. Finally retiring as the principal secretary to the Karnataka government in the legislature. And he definitely helps not only, he has done good deeds, not only to decide his own destiny, but he has helped a lot of other people decide their own destiny. His father passed away when he was studying in college, and he was the eldest of 12 siblings. So he supported his mother in raising the entire family. And they are all well settled now. He was the founder, one of the founders of our club, which has helped lead the destiny or help decide the destiny of so many of our members. So, without much ado, please join me in welcoming the Master of Ceremonies of today's meeting, the founder president of our club, the ever enthusiastic and energetic Toastmaster Robinson.
Please come forward, please come forward. If there's a gap in between, the enthusiasm stops. Thank you, Mr. President, for the introduction. Good evening, everyone present here.
Good evening. Good evening.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests. When I was a small child, I saw my father, a farmer, and an uneducated person, raising toasts during weddings and other occasions in my village. It was amazing for me. People admired him, and I wanted to emulate him. I wanted to be like that, standing before an audience and speak, audience like me. But it was not materializing because I was stuttering. I never thought that I will speak in the public, but I will speak like you for a small audience. The Toastmasters changed my life. I am one of the persons in this club who has been benefited the most by the Toastmasters, particularly our club. When we started this club about 27 years back, we were struggling to get the minimum 20 members to register. 1.5 years. Finally, I persuaded my son, who had attained 18 years and was in the second year MBA in Bangalore, to become the 20th member. I paid the fees and was successful in registering this club as a Bangalore Toastmasters club. I told you that I am the most benefited person. One, I have now overcome stuttering and speaking. You can make up. Second, my son Santosh joined the club. Then he was followed by a girl, his classmate, Nina Pinto. They continued their education, completed and secured jobs. Then they were married. Now they have settled down in Boston with their family. Later on, one boy by name Neil Sequeira joined. He chose me as his mentor, and he started visiting my home for practicing public speaking, public speeches. My daughter, Suraana married him. They have now settled down in Sydney. In fact, Neil was involved in the 2 Toastmasters clubs in Sydney. One he was the president, and the other he was a member. Recently, Sonaa's daughter, Leah, after completing her 10th standard in Sydney, has been nominated as a youth representative to the New South Wales legislation. In 1992, I was the secretary to the Labour Minister in Vidhan Sabha. Lots of youth used to come there, youngsters, in search of jobs. They used to represent the minister requesting his help to help them to get jobs. And the minister naturally used to divert to me as I was the secretary. As I interacted with them, I realized their problems, lack of confidence in them, and inability to communicate. If I offered them chairs, they were not sitting. They were reluctant. And communication was very poor. Though they had secured good marks, some were even first class graduates. Then I realized the worth of confidence. Perhaps in 1903, when Ralph Smentley, after his graduation, joined YMCA as the education director, he says that the same type of lack of confidence he observed and formed the first Toastmasters Club. Finally, it came into existence in October 1924. We are celebrating its centenary. Today, there are more than 14,000 Toastmasters clubs all over the world in 15 countries. All these Toastmasters clubs follow the same procedure, but they meet on different days, between different gaps, depending upon their convenience. Every Toastmasters club has 3 sessions. This is for the information of a few who have come for the first time. Mr. Hari Rao, Vijay, and Mr. Matthew. Where is Matthew? Yeah. They are attending the first meeting. For your information, in a Toastmasters meeting, there are 3 sessions. First session is prepared speech session, where a pre-assigned speaker, member of our club, he practices a speech with the help of his mentor. Every member has a mentor and comes here to present the speech. The second session is table topics, that is speaking of impromptu without much preparation. Third one is the evaluation session, where a team of evaluators give us the feedback of our performance. That's a crux. This has helped me a lot. I learned patience here, submitting myself to evaluation, tolerance, that helps me to succeed. And in order to lead this evaluation team comprises of 4 persons. One is a timer, second our counter, third grammarian. They help us to correct ourselves, improve our performance here in communication. And to lead them, we have a general evaluator. Today's general evaluator, according to me, is a legend. He became blind when he was in the high school, could not see. And as he progressed in education, when he wanted to do BCom, his teachers already said that you can't do, don't go, it's figures, you can't succeed. That was a challenge for him. Yes, he not only did BCom, went on to do a MCom, 3 postgraduate degrees, MPhil, doctorate. Imagine a person who was at one stage by somebody said that you can't study forward. Now he is in the Sindhi college in a top teaching position. He has been awarded the highest award in Toastmasters, ATM. Apart from that, he has been honored by the Chief Minister of Karnataka and up by the President of India. I consider him to be a gift to our club. Fellow Toastmasters, I am presenting to you today's General Evaluator, Mr. Rajdeep Manwani.
Wonderful introduction. My duty as a general evaluator will be to evaluate the entire meeting and see what went well in the meeting and what could make the meeting a little better. To assist me in this task, I have 3 very, very important people who will take a stock of the meeting. As a timer, we have a student of BBA in Business Analytics who is amazing at keeping time. She told me she has a lot of dates and times all the time. So please welcome with a big round of applause, Palak Mehta. Palak, you can introduce yourself.
Time is what we want most, but what we use the worst. By William Penn. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good evening.
I, Palak Mehta, as your timer for today, I'm here to help ensure that everyone will make the best use of the time that is given. As we all know that public speaking, time management is very important for us. So this is how I'm going to keep a track of all the time. For prepared speeches, 5 minutes is the green card, 6 minutes is the yellow card, and 7 minutes will be the red card. For table topics, that is from 1 to 2 minutes, 1 minute will be the green card, 1 minute 30 seconds will be the yellow card, and 2 minutes will be the red card. For evaluation is from 2 to 3 minutes. So 2 minutes is the green card, 2 minutes 30 seconds is the yellow card, and 3 minutes is the red card. I will keep track of all of the time and submit my report at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
As the R-counter, we have a PR professional from Dell. His motto in life is PR kiya to darna kya. So please welcome Ujjant Ramesh as the R-counter to explain his role.
A lot of us, we fail to make the cut simply because of the number of filler words that we use. While our spoken English is really great, a lot of people also think that the criteria today is how, while English is the major sort of criteria, at least that's what people used to think back in the day, I think right now what really matters the most is your command of the language. The number of filler words that we use, or in my case, I would like to call it killer words. Think of it, like what if, say, like politicians such as Sadugol or Prime Minister Modi started using filler words? Would you even buy into their speeches? Would you actually believe that what they are saying is true? I don't think anybody is that gullible enough to just buy into those words. So, similarly, I would suggest that everybody needs to use quick fixes today as well. if you end up stammering like what I am doing at this point, maybe take a pause. So let me also take a pause. Or maybe just move around a little bit to figure out what best you can do. So as the counter today, I will be noticing the usage of all such words such as literally, actually, and of course, the infamous ahs and ums, as the name suggests, as I am the counter today. And at the end of the day, I will present my report when called upon by the general evaluator.
Thank you. Thank you. I thought he was the Toastmaster of the day, and I thought he was going to continue for another 10 minutes. Thank God he stopped. Correct? Now you know why he's a public relations professional. Finally, as the grammarian, we have a person who believes in acrobatics and yoga. But today she's going to talk about verbal acrobatics. She's a yoga teacher and a BBA student who just passed out. Please welcome Rashi Palgota.
A very good evening to fellow Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good evening.
I'm an industrious grammarian for today, and I will be looking out not just for the fancy words or the dazzling sentences that the speakers will be using, but also for the little slip-ups that we tend to make usually while speaking for a longer time. My second role being to introduce to you the word for today, which is industrious, diligent, which means diligent and hardworking. So I hope all of you industriously use the word of the day for today, and I hope I have a lot of names. I will be giving my report by the end of the meeting. Back to you.
As I told you, she's a yoga teacher. Even while talking, she talks about slip-ups. She slips every time. But anyway, I will give my report at the end of the meeting when I'm called upon to do so. So have a great meeting, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Rajdeep. And so far as Palak is concerned, we are going to have only 2 speeches. The first speech is 5 to 7 minutes, and second one is 18 to 22 minutes. But fellow Toastmasters, there is likelihood of the second speaker being late because his father is not well. But he has already left his home, he is on his way. If he doesn't reach here on time before the first speaker finishes speech, the tabletop must be ready to step in. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, we are moving on to the speech session now. First speech is from Presentation Mastery, level 1, Project 4. The name of the speech, title of the speech is Evaluation and Feedback. The title, Never Ending Road to Justice. Never Ending Road to Justice. To evaluate him, we have a person who was captain of the school soccer team. Later, he did his electrical engineering in IIT Delhi and worked for top companies in US and in India. At present, he works for IBM. Mr. Sudipto Ghosh. May I request Mr. Sudipto to join me here, or we can read it according to convenience. The office.
Thank you, Robinson sir. The guideline for today's speech is for the member to present a well-organized speech on any topic and incorporate feedback from any of the previous speeches. All the best to the speaker.
The speaker, when he was a child, wanted to learn karate. But his father didn't allow him, didn't support him. In such circumstances, what you do, particularly in the month of August or October, what you do? He went on hunger strike, following the ideas of the father of the nation. Later on, in a school function, he was asked to act like Mahatma Gandhi. It's a statue form. He had to stand there like a statue, like Mahatma Gandhi. And another person was assigned to remove or steal the articles belonging to Mahatma Gandhi. That person came, first plucked the glasses and ran away. Second, Mahatma Gandhi's book. Third one was his stick. Then again he came, and this time he took away the lungi of Mahatma Gandhi. So imagine the condition of this person. He had to cover his thinking that. But next time he came there again. This time he took the statue of Mahatma Gandhi itself. And for that act of this person, he was awarded, and he was conferred with an award. Best act. Fellow Toastmasters, I am presenting to you the first speaker on the title Never Ending Road to Justice, Mr. Girish.
Have you ever felt like you're stuck in a never-ending traffic jam? You move an inch forward just to hit the brakes, and then finally really think, will I reach my final destination? This is exactly how my life feels right now. Just that instead of a traffic jam, I'm in a courtroom jam. The court cases in India also run so smoothly and slowly as that of our traffic. Good evening, Toastmasters and my dear guests. 2 years ago, I set off to a long drive to Mysore. On my way, humming 90s song, chilling, and then going to Mysore. Suddenly at an intersection, I saw a two-wheeler speeding towards me. Within a fraction of a second, I was shocked. And then I see, from nowhere, a person in front of me. I was really in a shock. Then after a moment of relaxation, I rushed him. We took him to the nearby hospital for the first aid. By this time, the police also arrived at the incident. They took my vehicle as well as the other guy's vehicle to the police station. The next day, in the police station, when we were seeing this whole incident on the camera recorded in the traffic signal, we realized how this whole incident happened. I was driving, I could see this vehicle coming, then suddenly he is hitting into the front tire of my car. Due to the force of impact, the pinion of this two-wheeler driver is flying all the way from the two-wheeler and landing on my front windshield and eventually in front of my car. After seeing this whole incident, the next case was to go file a case against each other. This is where something I realized and got to know how Indian case system works. Whenever there's an accident between two vehicles, a big vehicle and a small vehicle, in India, the case is always filed against the big vehicle. The reason being, the insurance amount that can be claimed is relatively higher than that second vehicle. Now, I was pretty confident it is not my fault. We both, myself and the driver, we got into this argument, and then we finally decided that we will file cases against each other. And this is where the fun begins. Let's say if it were to be a movie scene, we would have had a dramatic court case. We would have sorted out this whole story in 2 hours and would have said, choose bye-bye. But friends, in real life, it is not so. This is where my longest battle with the legal system started. The court cases were not just 2 hours, it goes on and on and on and on. Soon realizing within a couple of months this issue, the two-wheeler guy did a smart thing. He came to the court and he said, it's my mistake, I made it, I pay the fine, and then he left the court like a flying bird. What about me? I'm stuck there thanks to this two-wheeler lawyer who hooked me in for the insurance amount. I felt I was invited for a party which I am really not interested in, but I have no way option to go out. best part was, even though the two-wheeler guy, my opponent, who lost it, I don't really automatically win this case. I have to fight the whole proceedings once again. It felt like as though it is a fiction movie where the villain says, I am the killer, but no, the detective says, I have to solve the mystery, only then the case will be closed. In the meanwhile, I was paying good amount of my time and FT money to my lawyer very willingly. Not really. And the worst part was, there was no twist, there was no terms, and there was no surprise witness in this case. It was very boring, monotonous cases. Me sitting in the courtroom, waiting for my case to be heard. It really felt like as though I was waiting for a train which would never arrive. And then, once in a time, whenever I get a chance to be heard, I would go stand there, show my Aadhaar card, here it's me, and then they would say, your next case hearing date is so and so. Then I go sit back, reflect on my own self. What decision did I do? Did I really take a right wise decision by getting into the sports system? Friends, this is my learnings out of this whole experience of mine. The court cases are like potholes. You feel you are cruising, suddenly you fall into this trap. You get frustrated, you get irritated. You feel, why did I take this decision? Should I not take another route? So next time, when you face such case, where you have to face probably getting to a legal battle, please ask yourself these three questions. Is this fight worth my time? Is this fight worth my money, hard-earned money to be spent? If the answer for these two cases is still yes, then I would say, please let your ego aside and look for a peaceful solution. Never ever get into this legal battle. So, consider these three things: time, money, ego. These are three things you should ask yourself. Because, friends, I would say, better to take highway, not to get into these courtroom potholes, and because some fights are not really worth fighting for. Back to you.
I suggest you to contest the next elections and become the law minister. You have the first-hand experience. First-hand experience. We are moving on to the second speech now. It's also on presentation mastery. Level 5, Project 1. Project name is Prepare to Speak Professionally. Title of the project speech is The Tax Code. It's, as I said, 18 to 22 minutes. And to evaluate this speech, we have an experienced Toastmaster. We always find him smiling. And when we wish, how are you? He says, top of the world. Humorous. At present, he is a corporate trainer and has conducted trainings in Singapore, Vietnam, and Thailand. Fellow Toastmasters, I am now presenting to you the evaluator, DTM Vijay Anand.
Toastmaster, the Toastmasters and guests. The purpose statement is, the purpose of this project is to remember to practice developing and presenting a longer speech. Time, sorry, mentioned 18 to 20 minutes. Back to the table.
For the information of the members as well as the guests, this time is decided by the project. There is a purpose behind it. Long back, I had given a speech here. It was of 2.5 minutes. It all depends upon how much it costs. And we today learned lots of things in handling a case, how to pursue a case with Girish presentation. Let us see what the speaker has got to say. The speaker, while he was a child, was lost in Chickpay, and police found him, Girish, and he was taken to the police station. While doing his undergraduation, he got the Best Outgoing Student Award. His personal wish was to marry with his own resources and money, and he succeeded. He has a dog, very shy, and recently celebrated his birthday with a cake. And for 2 hours, the entire house was filled with laughter. He is founder, trainer of Staxo Academy. I am now presenting to you the next speaker, and the last speaker, Mr. Shashank Bhatt.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Good evening. What did you think when you heard 18 to 22 minutes from both the Toastmaster of the day as well as the evaluator? Right? Long speech. How can we tolerate someone on stage for 18 to 22 minutes? But I have taken up this challenge. And while doing so, I can guarantee you, you will learn, or most of you will learn something new today. Provided you interact with me, or else no chance of that happening. Don't worry. But there are 2 ground rules for today's speech. 1, you interacting with me, and 2nd, you answering as well. And I can guarantee at the end of 22 minutes, you wished I spoke for a few more minutes. Challenge? Accepted? Accepted. Yes. How many of you have filed your income tax returns this year? For this year, can you raise your hands? Thank you. Did you do it yourself?
Yes.
Why not? Why not read in Gangaadhar?
It takes more than 18. Not very one person do that.
Yes. Toastmaster Puneeth?
Takes a long time.
Takes a long time. But the person who does it, will he do it faster? He may also have to take the same time, right? But what we think is, why should we waste our time, learn everything on our own, then file the returns? Instead, I'll pay some money to someone, he will do it on my behalf. That's a shortcut, right? I can use the time productively. Yes? But at the end of the year, once year end, March is done, when you go to your auditor or chartered accountant or a consultant and ask him to file your returns, what do you think he will ask you? Fees first, then before the work starts, he asks for fees, right? Then form 16s if you are employed, then declarations, your bank statements, and whatnot. But sometimes, when he tells you you should pay this much as tax, what will be your response? Can we reduce it somehow? But unfortunately, the problem is it will be too late. Because the year is already done. You can't do any more tax planning, it's nothing. Whatever has to be paid, has to be paid. But we will still come across a trick. We will tell them, somehow add some deductions. Now, can I have someone here who's not done commerce or who's not working when it comes to commerce? Yes, Brian. Do you know what are deductions?
Yeah.
What are those?
So basically, you file your income tax, there will be some amount to come back to you. I mean, anything late next time is what I understand.
Toastmaster Ganesh, is he right? No. This is the problem. Because sometimes at the end of the year, when we say deductions, rebate, refund, etc., we are confused. So what can be done from our end at least? Have the basic knowledge of tax
so that we can plan and prepare. Even if we don't file our returns, it is okay. We should know what we are doing, or we should know what the consultant is doing. What do we know about income then? We've heard about income tax payment, etc. What is income in this case? Akash, can you tell me what is income? What you are earning? I will give you 50 rupees as a gift today. Is that your income? If I give you 50 rupees as loan, is that your income? What if you don't pay back? Is that your income then? Yes. Right. So as per income tax, there are 5 major or 5 heads of income, which is first income from salaries. Now, while I have a 28 slide PPT with me to show it to you, but what I realized in my immediate previous presentation last week at a college, as soon as the slide is slashed, all eyes will be on the slide, not on me. So why am I here? So whatever the slide has to do, I am doing it myself today. And if you want, at the end of the speech, I will share the presentation with you for your reference. The first head of income is income from salaries. So all of you who are employed, you get income from salaries from your respective employees. Clear with that? As simple as it can get. The second head of income is income from house property. So if you have a house and you are renting it out, what do you call the revenue that you get? The rent which you get is your income as well. The second main source of income. The third source of income, Shivangi, you are an expert. Can you tell us please?
Income from business or profession.
Business and profession. Business or profession. That is, if you are a businessman, that means you are not employed. Right? So whatever money you get from your business, that is your income from business. We also have something called as profession there. What is profession? I am a trainer. I am not employed anywhere. I am my own boss. I call myself as my own boss. So whatever money I get from various institutes or universities or corporates, I do it as a profession. This is income from profession. So whatever I earn, whatever Anand earns, is all income from profession. So quick reminder, 3 heads as of now. Income from salaries. Toastmaster Priyanka is the example. Income from house property. Example. We know. Income from business or profession. I have an example of having professional income. The fourth one is capital gains. Who has not heard capital gains here? You have heard, but how does that work? So when we buy or sell any asset, when we buy and subsequently sell an asset, the profit we make is called as gain. If we make a loss, it is a loss. So the income we get when we buy and sell, subsequently make a profit on security, shares, land, building, whatever it is our capital gain. The last head of income, other sources. What does that include? Whatever not discussed in the top 4. Anything you get. As simple as savings bank interest. I have, let us say, 100 rupees in my bank account. One and only account. The bank charges 4 rupees interest. 4% that's. So I will get 4 rupees interest from the bank. That 4 rupees interest should also be classified as income from other sources. There is no escape. Your FD interest, even a lottery, all these other sources are basically income from other sources. So when I add up my salaries, my house property, my capital gains, business profession, and income from other sources, what do I get? My total income. This is called as my gross total income. So if anyone asks you, how much are you making this year? What is your income? This is the amount you quote. The total of all these heads of income. Next, we earn sufficient income. Should we pay tax on that? Of course, yes. So will we be paying tax on this amount? No. Why? Deductions, a new word. So for people who have not heard or who don't know the meaning, what are deductions? Deductions are basically your expenditures which you incur, you spend first, which will be reduced from your total income when you calculate at the end of the year. Let us say I am employed. I have 6 lakhs as my salary. I I have also other sources 1 lakh. My total income is 7 lakhs as of now. Technically, I should be paying tax on my 7 lakhs. However, in case I spend any money which are specified transactions, that will be reduced from my 7 lakhs. Let us say I spent 50,000. Life insurance policy example. 50,000 will be reduced from what amount? My 7 lakhs. What is the balance we get? 6,50,000 is called as taxable income. This is the money on which we have to pay the tax. Not 7 lakhs, not the total income, but taxable income. So on 6.5 lakhs, we are supposed to pay the tax. Clear till here? Any questions? Any doubts? All good? Yes. How much is the bigger question here? How much should we pay? All of us earn different amounts, right? There are some people who earn 6 lakhs, there are some people who earn 60 lakhs. How much should be the tax amount that should be paid by us? This is where a lot of salaried people especially try to cheat the government. You can cheat now, but be careful because I also train the income tax department. I know what's happening there. You may get notices after a couple of years asking you for these proofs of deductions. Unless you have given these deductions to your employer and he has rightfully computed the income and tax and all that, you are okay. If you add anything post your salaried slip form 16 is generated, you may get into trouble later. I'm giving you a heads up right now to all the salaried people who try to get extra from the government as refund. What is that? We'll see later. But coming to tax, I will discuss two situations. I want you to answer what would you do. Nowadays we have this new thing called as old regime, new regime. What should we select? Confused? What should we select? What would you select? Old regime. Why?
That's my understanding.
I will prove you wrong today, don't worry. Yes,
New regime, if your income is below, say, 7.5 lakhs, reason being you don't have to go through this whole complicated process of declarations. They know that your income is that much, you won't be deducted anything.
What if your income is 70 lakhs?
Old.
Old?
Yeah.
Are you sure? I will prove you wrong as well. So let us try to prove Toastmaster Priyanka and Toastmaster Chiranth wrong now by understanding. And I will go through the old school method of chop and board. Ready? Let us begin. As discussed, our taxable income, as we saw, was 6,50,000. How did we get this? 7 lakh, which was our total income, minus deductions of 1 lakh. Brian, can I tell you what are the deductions now? 50,000. What are the deductions, Brian? Whatever expenditures we incur, testing your listening skills. Whatever 22 minutes speech, you should understand. Whatever expenditures we incur, specified expenditures, examples, your LIC premium, investments in equity linked mutual funds, your house loan repayment, EMI interest, etc., are all your deductions. Once you make these payments, you can then reduce it from the income. What if my income is 7 lakhs? I spend 7 lakhs. Movies and other places. Can I reduce the entire money from my income and say zero income? No, they are specified deductions. There are limits as well. So it's very difficult to breach the limit. So if you spend more than that, it's restricted to the limit. So on the 6.5 lakh, first we had and we still have something called old regime, wherein if your income is 0 to 2.5 lakhs, L denotes lakhs, what will be the tax amount you pay? Zero. What does that mean? If your income is up to 2,50,000, no need to pay any tax, no need to file any returns as well. What if your income is 2,55,000? Even though you may not have to pay any tax, you are still supposed to file the returns, tell the government this is my income. Or else, couple of years, you will get a notice from the government saying 2 years ago you had this much as your income. You have not paid any tax or not paid any return. Tell us why we should not show this as income and ask you to pay tax on this. Right? So if your income is above this, you should compulsorily file your income tax return. But your tax will be 0. It says 2.5 lakh to 5 lakh. What's the rate, Shivangi? 5%. Simple. I will write everything, then I'll ask you a trick question. I hope you can answer that. 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs, it is 20%. Greater than 10 lakhs, 30%. This is the simple slabs. They are called as slabs, income tax slabs. Let me test your understanding. My question to you, let us say Toastmaster Srinivas. If your income is 6,50,000, how much tax will you be paying?
20%.
20%. So can I say 6,50,000 into 20%?
It's 1 lakh.
Is that correct? It's a calculation correct? 6,50,000 into 20%? Because I fall in this bracket.
Yeah.
Toastmaster Amaan, is that correct? No. Chartered accountant? No. This is a common misconception which we have. That is, if we have this income falls in this slab, does that mean we should pay this rate? The answer is no. It is step-by-step approach. It is progressive. What does that mean? On your first 2,50,000, we will pay 0. On the next 2,50,000, that is 2,05,000 to 5 lakh, how much will you pay? 5%. So what will be the amount? Difference of 2,50,000 into 5% is 12,500. How much have you paid tax up to 5 lakhs? What's our income? 6,50,000. So how much is due to be paid? On which what income? 1,50,000. So even though we are here, we are technically paying only for 1,50,000. So 1,50,000 into 20% should be the calculation. What is 1,50,000 into 20%? 30,000. So will I calculate anything here? More than 10 lakhs? No. So what's the total tax? 30 plus 12,500 is 42,500. So quick reminder, if you select old regime, what happens? Your total income is 7 lakhs. You have deductions of 50,000. Your taxable income is 6,50,000. Or what will you pay your tax? 7 lakh or 6,50,000? 6,50,000. So 6,50,000 will be due into 20% because we are in this range? No. Demystified, 1 point demystified. So what do we do? Progressive. On the first 2,50,000, no tax. On the next 2,50,000, 5%. On whatever is left because it is in this slab, into 20%. Now, let us calculate this in the new regime and see if our answer differs. Then you can make a choice. Yes? So if I write new regime here, so people who filed the returns already last year, you would have paid either by selecting old regime or new regime. But there is a change in the new regime as well. What is this new regime? I will write the slabs first, ask you a question, maybe prove you wrong, then I will explain. Yes? So here, it is 0 to 3 lakhs, tax rate is 0. What's the next step, Toastmaster Amaan? Do you remember?
3 to 9 lakhs, 5%.
Is that correct, Toastmaster Shivangi?
7.
3 lakhs to 7 lakhs. This was earlier 6 lakhs. This was earlier 6 lakhs. This has become 7 lakhs. What's the tax rate here? 5%. Next, on 7 lakh to 10 lakh, it is 10%. Next, on 10 lakh to 12 lakh, it is 15%. On 12 lakh to 15 lakh, it is 20%. Greater than 15 lakh, 25%. Now, Toastmaster Priyanka, can you tell me which is straightforward here?
I understood old regime for old regime.
Yes. Now here, it is exactly similar to this, but the rates and slabs are different. Here we had 0 to 2.5, 2.5 to 5, 5 to 10, etc. If you observe, the tax rates were higher. In this case, 0 to 3 we say 0, 3 lakh to 7 lakh we have 5, 7 lakh to 10, 10, 10 to 12, 50, 15 to 12 to 15 is whatever. If your income is same 6 lakh 50,000, which regime would you select now, Toastmaster Priyanka?
New regime.
Because we fall in this category, 5%, which is better for us. So if you observe here, let us say our taxable income is 9 lakhs. 9 lakhs comes here, which is around 20%. 9 lakhs comes here, which is 10%. So if you observe, in the new regime, the rates are lower. Yes? Why don't we select new regime by default then? Common sense, right? If you look at the rates here and compare the rates here, which is beneficial for us? The new regime. But is that an easy and straightforward question to answer? No. The answer is no. The reason being, in this new regime, these deductions are not considered. There are specified deductions. First of all, in the old regime we had specified deductions. But here they say no deductions except a couple of them. So practically no deductions. So you are given two options now. One, you pay higher tax at higher rate on low income. High rate, low income. Or low rate at high income. So here in new regime if you select, this will not be considered. Your income will be 7 lakhs. So the question to you will be, do you want to pay high rate on 6 lakh 50 or low rate on 7 lakhs? This is where at the end of the year we'll have to make the calculation. We can select whichever is beneficial for us, accordingly file the return. Now to all employed people, you would have already made the decision. Your employers would have asked, which regime should I select? You would ask your friends, etc. What will you do in that case? You don't know what to do. Whatever is default, someone says select new regime because tax rate is less, you select. From next year onwards, this will be there by default. What you can do, irrespective of what is selected or what you gave to your employer earlier, what can we do? Fine, let them calculate what they want. At the end of the year, when we pay our taxes, we can prepare on both old and new regime, see whichever is beneficial for us, accordingly make the payment. So if we take here, what will be the tax rate? 0 to 3, 0. Our income is 7 lakhs, let us say. 3 lakh to 7 lakh? 5%. So how much will it be? 35,000. The last good thing I am telling you today when it comes to taxation is, in the old regime, if your income is up to 5 lakh, whatever money you calculate will be given back to you as discount. That discount has a word called rebate.
Is it progressive?
Progressive. Again. 0 to 3, 0. On differential amount of 4 lakh into 5% is how much? 20,000. Word 35. Someone is not listening there. 20,000. Right? So on the differential amount, we will be paying 20,000 here. Right? In the old regime, up to 5 lakh, if your income is up to 5 lakh, people who are just graduating or low income, up to 5 lakh, everything will be given back to you as discount called as rebate. But in the new regime, your limit is 7 lakhs. If your income is 6 lakh 90,000, what happens then? Rebate. Everything will be given back to as rebate. But first, file the return, show this calculation, show this tax, then say rebate. Entire money will be reduced. You will not be paying any tax. Right? The intention of this entire session was to tell you old and new. Are you ready to file your returns on your own? If not, it is okay. But do you know what the auditor or consultant does when he files a return? Yes. So keep this in mind. Start planning, whichever you feel is beneficial. Go ahead. That. Thank you very much. Over to the
Fellow Toastmasters, did you notice how the time flew? Pardon? Now we'll take a break of 5 minutes. Welcome back. Fellow Toastmasters guests, welcome back for the second session. The meaning of the name of the Toastmaster. the details of session, I leave the tabletop master to explain. Meaning of the name of tabletop master is peacemaker. You have chosen the right person to handle tabletop today, peacemaker. Born in Nagpur, by profession chartered accountant, but he works as a consultant at present. His most memorable incident in life so far is trekking, snow trekking in Uttarakhand. Fellow Toastmasters, I am presenting to you the tabletop master Amaan Isani.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to the table topic segment. I am Toastmaster Amaan, and I am your table topic master. For the benefit of the guests, I'll take a moment to explain the role of table topics. In table topics, a speaker will be given a topic and has to think on the feet and deliver the speech. The purpose of table topics is to practice thinking and speaking on the feet. Attempting at table topics helps you to develop 4 types of skills. First is listening. Carefully listen to the topic. Second, thinking. Getting all your points together. Third is organizing. Gathering all your points into a speech format, which is having opening, middle, and the conclusion. The last is delivery. I urge all the speakers to use word of the day, which is industrious. And the speaking guidelines will be, I will display the green card at 1 minute and the red card at 1 minute and 30 seconds. So, I will tell you the first topic of the day. The topic is, what would you do if you won the lottery? The speaker is Srinivas Vungarala.
Imagine the word of lottery winning, right? And if I would have won the lottery, I would have stopped going to office. No more life goals, no more the chance of manager, no more performance appraisal, nothing. No more EMIs, nothing. So imagine that life, if you have that lottery in hand, life will be yours. That Bangalore Toastmaster will be my next home. I will be so committed to Bangalore Toastmaster that Rajdeep sir will be saying, "Srini, kuch to chodo yaar, baki logon ke liye." That will be the dedication I will show if I would have won the lottery. But the reality of life is, I am searching for that lottery, and lottery is coming on the way. But this is the biggest miracle which would happen if Amaan gives me that lottery tonight.
The second topic for today's session is, if you had to be a teacher, what would you teach? The speaker is Toastmaster Shivangi.
I remember I was in 2nd standard and the teacher had distributed the report cards to us, blank report cards. And she gave us that one period of 40 minutes to turn to the back of the report card and fill that section which says, what do you want to be when you grow up? Now this section was ever changing for me every year. When I was in UKG, I wanted to be an ice cream seller. When I was in 1st standard, I wanted to be the person who waits in the theaters to showcase the movie, so I can watch all movies. When this year in the 2nd standard, I wrote, I want to be a teacher. After that class, the next day, when the report cards were filled and the teacher got it into the classroom, and before she told anything, before she started speaking anything, she said, among everybody in the class, I'm surprised that there's only one student who wants to be a teacher. Do you think being a teacher is that bad? She asked me why. Why do you want to be a teacher? And I said, I want to be a teacher so that I can teach everyone what I know. She asked, what do you know? I said, I don't know anything as of now. But every day that I learn something new, I want to stand on the stage and talk to people and teach them what they don't know. Just like how Shashank did today. It was beautiful. It was very inspiring to stand here and teach people who don't know something in a basic and simple manner. That's what I would teach if I was a teacher.
The third topic is, do you believe in deeds or destiny? Do you believe in deeds or destiny? The speaker is Toastmaster Ganesh.
Do you believe in deeds or destiny? Actually, I believe in both. And like Shashank, I also prove it. So, Warren Buffett once famously said, he said, I have had hit a ovarian lottery. He said, I am so lucky to be born in America at a time when the country was just progressive. And just think about it. How lucky we all are to be living in India, to be living in Bangalore, which is nothing less than a heaven. Imagine, if not for Bangalore, if we were in, let's say, Iran or Afghanistan, I mean, isn't that destiny? Now that we are in India, in Bangalore, what happens if we just, waste our life doing nothing? Imagining we'll get one lottery one day and just wasting our lives. Would our life amount to anything meaningful at all? Will it? Not really, right? So I think life is a confluence of both your destiny and needs. You should have some amount of luck to be at the right place at the right time. And once you are at the right place at the right time, it's your skill, it's your competence, it's all your hard work, knowledge that really takes you to the top. So friends, I truly believe it is not either or, it is both your needs and that will determine your destiny. Thank you.
The next topic is, if necessity is the mother of invention, who is the father? The topic is, if necessity is the mother of invention, who is the father? The speaker is Toastmaster Abhay.
Topic master, fellow Toastmasters and guests. If necessity is the mother of invention, I believe that the father of invention is time. Now, there are several reasons why you can say that, but I believe that just like Ganesh just said, you've got to be at the right place at the right time. Now, there was a necessity at one point to vulcanize rubber or to make it hard for practical purposes. And Charles Goodyear, the scientist who did that, was trying out various sort of formulas to vulcanize rubber and make it hard. He once visited the chemist's shop where rubber was sold by the pound. It was very expensive back then to try out some experiments. The chemist gave him some rubber, and when he reached home, he found that it was hard already. He immediately rushed back within a span of few minutes and asked the chemist, what did he weigh in the same scale before the rubber? The chemist said it was sulfur. So the necessity was there, and Charles Goodyear made apt use of the time with the right observation to vulcanize rubber. And every time you're rolling on the streets with your tires, or when an aircraft lands, yeah, please thank Charles Goodyear, because if necessity was the mother of invention, then certainly father was time. Over to you.
The next topic is, what is your hidden talent? What is your hidden talent? I would like to call Toastmaster Srinivas V.
Last year, when I visited African countries, there they told the famous sport here is paragliding. I took it as a challenge with a 360-degree camera. We went with a guide. He said, we are going to cross mountains, forests, and going to land near the ocean. He said, yes, I'm so excited to see that. Like, we climbed, and when he reached the stop, and he started tracking it, and suddenly, when we are at the mountains, about to cross the forest, he removes the cliff. What is supposed to do? He told me you're supposed to pull some thread to have the parachute on. But I don't know which thread is that. Instead of pulling the right thread, I pulled the wrong thread. Where I was hanging on one side of the bag, and luckily I opened my parachute. And think, I was just about to land on the seashore. I was standing there. The waves are coming so close. As soon as the wave comes, I was slowly going down. People thinking so well. This is the hidden talent which I have in me. Tell the story which I not went to. I don't know where the African country is, but the story could be good. And some stories are true. Many stories are cooked up stories on the spot. Over to you.
The next topic is, why does an empty vessel make more noise? Why does an empty vessel make more noise? The speaker is Toastmaster Priyanka.
Understand the depth of that vessel, you will turn that vessel, instead of making noise, something very, very useful. Just a couple of days back, when I was applying for a job interview, and the interview process was very, very challenging. It was because it is a subject I have not expertised myself into, though my job is somewhere closely related to it. But when I tried to work towards the problems of those interview questions, they are so simple but very, very difficult to solve. It applies a lot of logic to just solve that one programming question that was asked. And I stuttered for that question because it was too simple, and I tried to find all the possible solutions which were not right. If I had probably seen through that question very, very carefully, the answer was in that programming question, and I could have easily written my code. So that's why I say we all look around, but not what is there in front of us. Over to you.
The next topic is good things come to those who wait. How would you explain that to a bachelor? The topic is good things come to those who wait. How would you explain that to a bachelor? I would like to call Toastmaster Puneeth
How would you explain this to a bachelor? It's very unusual for a bachelor, because I feel there are only one or two waves of you getting married, and if you don't accept in those waves, then it becomes a very uphill task to get married, at least in Indian context and in the middle class society. So I would sulk from telling a bachelor good things comes to those who wait. I would rather tell the bachelor, don't wait. Instead, don't wait, but instead explore or work on yourself. And I was at Christ University the other day, and I told the kids, ask me whatever you want. And so they asked me all relationship questions. And I told them this is probably the only time in your life where you will have about 15,000 students in the campus, ranging from visiting country students to students from the north, south, east, west coming together. You will never experience this broader range of people. And that is why you should explore and date around and find people of different ethnicities, groups, sizes, to see what works for you. So I wouldn't encourage a bachelor to wait. I would say get on the wheel and go explore as much as you can. And you can always settle down. Something, yeah.
The next topic is, can small changes every day make big differences? Can small changes every day make big differences? And the speaker is DTM Gangaadhar.
Good evening to all Toastmasters, Table Topic Master, and to all those who believe if small changes can make a big difference every day. Or small changes every day can make a big difference. But I personally feel yes, it can. Because it is, how would I explain that? If we take it in the form of, let's say, a clock, it's each of those seconds which matter, it's each of those minutes that matters, it's each of those 5 minutes that matters, which makes an hour, and it goes on and on to 24 hours. In a similar fashion, if you can take up small, very small activities towards your goal, towards what you want to do, towards the direction that you want to head, and make it consistent, because that's a very important thing. You need to be disciplined and consistent. Though I'm talking about it, I have my own faults. But that consistency and discipline will slowly and surely take you there, and you realize that when one day you look back at where you started. I've started learning tabla at this age. I'm learning the ABCD. I'm recording every session that I'm doing to see how I'm progressing in the next week. So I would definitely say take small steps with discipline, focus, and it can make a huge difference. Over to you.
The next topic is why we think grass is always greener on the other is always greener on the other side. The speaker is Toastmaster Chaitra.
One of the most baffling things we come across is how different other people's perspectives are from our perspective. We think that whatever we have to go through is really difficult. And other people, every time we look at their Instagram feeds, things look so much more exciting for them. Our lives look boring. And then we wonder, why is it so different for me? But that's a matter of perspective, right? Grass always looks greener on the other side. And our little patch on the lawn looks dry and brown. That's not the case. What we see is what other people present. And what they present is something that is always a little more polished than our day-to-day experiences. Something that is more exciting than our mundane daily lives. And something that is so much more photogenic compared to ourselves when we haven't bothered to, pose properly for those photos. So these kind of things really trick us, and it makes us wonder why other people's lives look so much better than ours. But that's really not the case. It's just a matter of perspective. Right.
The next topic is, what is your favorite way to spend a lazy day? The topic is, what is your favorite way to spend a lazy day? The speaker is Toastmaster Kamlesh.
What is my favorite day to spend my lazy day? I used to spend a lot of day in the morning. I get up in the morning at almost 7 o'clock, but my wife won't allow me. After having, she started going to the yoga, and she started saying, how he dared to take the rest. I am going, putting a lot of effort. So that laziness has turned to my nightmare in last 3 to 4 months. And then I realized that my laziness is actually turning to my, fruitful. So what I can say that sometimes you look like the day is going as lazy, but sometimes once you turn the day as a productive, you start realizing that it is meaningful to you. And recently I have traveling a lot all across most of the part of the country, and I felt that what I am doing for myself. Definitely I am going for my client and all, but one thing I left is my health, and that is where I joined the online session, and that really helped me to increase my productivity and getting away from my laziness. So what I say that laziness is just in your mind. You have to just get out of here, and definitely you will land up in the different island which will make you more productive and helpful. Thank you.
The last topic for today's session, what's your definition of happiness? What's your definition of happiness? The speaker is Toastmaster Chiranth.
Do I look happy? Yes. Because I didn't watch Netflix today. Probably that's why. So I thought initially my happiness was Netflix and chill, but sometimes at the end of the day I realized that that's not the happiness. But again, when I reset it, the next day starts, probably the weekend hits. Probably if my Netflix is even if it has run out of balance or something, subscription, I would again subscribe to it. So in some case, like, it's very difficult. Sometimes, like, if I'm reading too much, I say like my happiness is something, watching Netflix and chill. If I'm doing something like the same Netflix and chill, so I'll be saying that, okay, learning and getting to know those things. So my prospect of happiness changes. Whatever I'm not doing, that gives me the happiness, if I have to say. Over to you.
So that is from my end. Over to you, Toastmasters.
Thank you, Amaan. Hello, Toastmasters and guests. We are moving on to the final session, evaluation session. We have evaluated the whole meeting. We have Mr. DTM Rajdeep Manwani.
Fellow Toastmasters, Toastmaster of the Day, or the member of the club. I have a friend, Guru, who's also a member of this club, and he's an HR professional, and he took me to an upscale cafe a few days back, and there was this student who was there in this cafe who was working, but he was very frustrated. So when he came, he had a grumpy face, he kept the water, then when we ordered Coke, he came and he put the Coke down with a lot of force and a little drop fell. And Guru, being a HR professional and a recruiter, said to that young boy, I don't think so, you like this job, isn't it? The boy said, yes sir, I don't like this job. And Guru came up with a very nice response to him. He said, don't worry, I won't keep it too long. Because the way you're behaving shows that you're not going to keep it too long. I think so he gave us great feedback in a very succinct way. And I think so that's what the job of the general evaluator is, to give us succinct feedback in a very nice and in a very nice sugar-coated manner. And so let's see how the meeting went today. So we started off with the Sergeant at Arms, Shreya, and I believe Shreya, you're looking gorgeous today. Yeah? Can we have a few whistles? Okay. Absolutely, the white gown and I don't know what, correct? But I can't see, but some of the married men over here looking pretty gorgeous, and she started on the meeting, please don't dress up so well, you will distract the but anyway, great job. I think so Sergeant at Arms has been doing a great job. What I liked was, although I can't see, but the way you wrote on the board different colors, blue, green, white, yellow, and I think so you colored the board and giving importance to me and the Toastmaster by putting in blue, all the other different colors, correct? But very nicely done, and I think so you introduced the topic well, you talked about everything, you added a little bit of humor, sweet, juju. I also thought you degraded the president pretty well, correct? You can't distinguish between coffee and tea, correct? And I don't know what else she told you, Joe. She really doesn't like you. Okay. No, but she tried to introduce you well. But what I felt was everything well went, but I think so you have to just pick up the president a little bit, because the president is the captain of the ship. So you have to tell. You should know Joe's Paul is a labor expert. Not that labor, but whatever. He is a labor law expert. Correct or no? And you have to prop him up a little bit to tell about the profession and show that he is the captain of the ship. So find a nice way of making the president look good on stage, just rather than pulling him down a little bit mean. But otherwise, I think so you did a good job. You're conducting a meeting well. For that, please give Shreya a big round of applause. Next, we had the Toastmaster of the Day. What do I say? The founder of the club. We call him the Pitama of the club, the person who actually got this club going around 26 years back. And he gave a brilliant way of how Toastmasters should conduct themselves on stage. What I loved were these small things which he collected about every speaker. Right from Girish, some small incidents, the thorough research. He rang me up 2 days back and he told me, I'm sending you the profiles of the timer, accountant, grammarian, please introduce them. The way he conducts every meeting is, they say that the detail in which he does it is brilliant. Every person had a proper introduction, including the evaluators. including the time, table topic speakers, so everybody got their due in their introduction. The small incidents which he told, the importance of Toastmasters, where he told how both his son and daughter got married through Toastmasters. That's why it's called BTMC, Bangalore Toast Matrimonial Club. So all of your guests who are looking to get a match, please join BTMC. Whatever. Your sons, daughters, sisters, brothers, anybody not getting married? Now you know the place to go. Correct? So, but the way he brought out the entire meeting, the way he connected each one was a lesson in itself. A brilliant job. So please give the Pitama of the club round. Just a small suggestion, sir. When you're introducing the incidents about your son, daughter, and talking about the legal expert, might be just connected with the theme of the meeting. Might be say, the small deal which I did in bringing a new Toastmaster changed my destiny of my son-in-law, I got my son-in-law, or the small deal of being a labor expert. So connect it to the theme so that there is a connect between the theme and what you're speaking. Otherwise, the same story with a small connect would have made a bigger difference. So for that brilliant job, one more big round of applause to Okay, next we had the first speaker of the day. But before that, I want to just speak a little bit about the secretary. I think so. Our secretary, whom I Mr. Prakarsh, has been doing a brilliant job. If you see uploading the meetings on time, coming up on stage and giving a very succinct report. So I think so. The secretary also deserves a big round of applause. I truly love the way you said I am vivacious. That's what the girls to judge, but not me, but whatever. But you did a very good job. So Prakarsh also deserves a big round of applause. Now let's go to the first speaker. Now, I don't know in the play whether what all they removed from him, correct? But the lawyers have removed a lot out of Girish. So, a person who's very well dressed today, Sudipto with a tie and all that, is making me feel shy, correct? From a well dressed person to a person who had been stripped, we have the evaluation. Sudipto goes to evaluate Girish.
Buddha attained nirvana after many years of meditation. But the speaker in spotlight attained enlightenment in just a few years of dealing with our court system. Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, guests and Girish in particular, let us see the places where you sparkled as a speaker. First of all, I'd say your speech was very engaging. Your engagement quotient with the audience was very high. Why do I say that? First of all, you started with a very rhetorical question about being stuck in the traffic jam, and I guess everyone in the room has had that pleasure. And with that initial question, you grabbed all of our attention. But that's only half the job done. But going on with your very evocative body language, you painted such a beautiful pictures particularly with your usage of hands. Your eye contact was spot on. Particularly the place where you hit the ground with the accident. I think we all could see that accident happening in real time. So your engagement, body language, think was spot on. Really. Then, moving on, the way you summarize the speech, you emphasize, I think he spoke about the 3 points, right? Anyone remembers that? Time, ego, money. So again, given the audience connect you have, you can see that the audience still recollects those 3 points, and there's something for us to take back. So folks would remember this speech even tomorrow day after. Okay. That's the hallmark of a good speaker. Coming to the place where you could nourish the speech a little, at least in my view, I saw you, while you were very engaged with the audience, you were kind of, I think at least 3 circles I could count you floated around, like going down, going back, coming in front. Just cut out the movement. Keep your movements to be very intentional, where either you do it on a transition or where you make a point. I remember that you thumb down in this position. And that's the perfect moment. Perfect moment, then you can do the transition, you can just walk to the other side. That does introduce a pause in your speech. And that was a very good moment where you can let the audience see you a bit, right? Walk next. And that catches the attention very more, introduces your pause, and your movement becomes very, very natural and very part of the script. Make a small change and your speech would start like that.
I was asking why it took so long. We told some photo. Okay. But I think so, Girish, you did a fantastic job. Very, very simple story brought to life. And I think so, you did a fantastic job in narrating the story, keeping us engaged. Besides what Sudipta told you, what I thought, Girish, was that I thought the end elongated too much, right? You said it 3 times, time, ego, money, time, ego, money, time, ego. And every time you said, so I want to tell you this, so I want to tell you this, I want to tell you this, so now you should close your speech, correct? But be a little careful of not repeating the message again and again. But for a brilliant evaluation and a brilliant speech, give both of them a big round of applause. Next we had the income tax expert who taught you how to choose between the old regime and the new regime. And the greatest takeaway for me was that Anand has a lot of income from house property. 1 house in Bangalore, 1 house in Thailand. I don't know what he's preaching over there, right? But he's going to evaluate Shashank and tell us all about his income. So let's bring about Anand on stage, please.
Toastmasters is a wonderful place where you can begin your journey of public speaking in a very safe, conducive and friendly atmosphere. That's the starting step. But if you ask me what the ultimate aim or the term objective is to be, where you can speak professionally. And today we have amidst us one such Toastmaster who was just not talking the talk, but walking the talk. And why do I say this? This gentleman came in to deliver a speech for 22 minutes. He had a personal challenge in the front, like that you would mention. His father wasn't keeping well. He just came in about little more than 30 seconds before his speech was to begin. The Toastmaster page of Toast Robinson asked him, gave him a thumbs up sign. Are you willing to speak? And the gentleman reciprocated with a thumbs up sign. And that, my friends, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. This gentleman is taking the right steps to speak professionally. Mr. G, fellow Toastmaster, welcome guest. Toastmaster Shashank, you were attempting to prepare to speak professionally. That one box I mentioned already ticked. Second, very important objective has got to be engaging. I thought you did a fantastic job by involving the audience, asking questions. Well done. Another objective, compelling content. Fantastic. 5 income heads, deductions, old and new regime on the board. Very good. Excellent presentation skills, I would say 2. Body language, voice modulation. Yes, spot on. A lot of people say don't move on stage. Yes, it's true, but for you, I would not, it was necessary because it was a lengthy speech, a lot of content, you had right on the board, well done. Voice modulation, Toastmaster Shashank, it's, if you were to analyze, it's on the higher side, loud, emphatic, booming, you project your voice well. You may want to consider dropping your voice for the main points you want. Just consider that. Now, let us see how we can raise the bar when it comes to speaking professionally. I want to ask you, they say I take a dipstick survey. Toastmaster Brian, Shashank, don't whisper anything in his ears. Toastmaster Brian, what was your one takeaway from this speech, from Shashank's speech? Puneeth, I want some reduction from your side. Toastmaster Brian, if my voice is loud and clear.
I love the introductions and
I'll copy and paste. Okay, Toastmaster Vishal, one takeaway from this speech. Don't
Old regime versus new regime.
Old regime, new regime. Toastmaster Chaitra.
The different tax slabs.
Different tax slabs.
Sorry, not
Oh,
slabs.
no, whatever, stop it. Sorry. Toastmaster Gangaadhar, TTM Gangaadhar. One takeaway, 6 to 8 words, maximum 10 words.
You can do it yourself.
You can do it yourself.
yourself.
As an act, sometimes. Okay. Chiranth.
Progressive tax.
Progressive tax. So we are progressive. Thank you. Okay. I asked the speaker at the break, I'm going to ask him again. Toastmaster Shashank, I'm going to ask you 6 to 8, maximum 10 words. That's the power of a theme or simple message. What was it?
simplified tax, it is not as scary as it looks. It's absolutely simple, you can do it yourself. I think it should be more
I don't blame our tax man because today's world buy one get three. So I asked someone, he gave 3. Now that, don't get me wrong. What I'm saying is this is where we're losing the plot. It has to be 8, 10 words, a central message or the theme which your speech revolves around. I thought there we were found wanting. You wanted to convey a lot, but the audience is confused. You agree with me? If I were in your place, some 8 to 10 words. Today, in the next 20 minutes, I'm going to make filing tax returns non-taxable, something like that. So it resonates with us. Keeping that in mind, you've got to organize the talk. Keynote, this project calls for you have a keynote style presentation. The opening of the talk is extremely important. Toastmaster Shashank started. Now don't get worried to keep him to 2 minutes. No yawning. No. You're in the back foot. Negative. You've already shot yourself in the foot. This has got to be a positive start. There I thought again we kind of lost the top. Body of the top has to be structured. I on your place. I want to talk about 3 things today. 5 heads of income, deductions, and old annuity. Then you go into it. The flow. It's got to be a coherent, sequential, logical flow. I thought we're all over the shop flow. A lot of stuff, a lot of content, put in the ball, thrown at us. End. You saw the red card, you rushed with the conclusion. Little more preparation. Because that's what stays in the audience mind. 22 minutes, but the last 7, 8 seconds remains in the mind. So you could have some powerful closure. Another thing, what it calls for, as a keynote, you've got to unify the people, get them together. Here again. Salary folks trying to cheat, huh? If I were to ask them, at least 50 people, salary folks. So then drop the voice, use a different word. Because your keynote speakers look up to you. You're kind of dividing the audience by saying that. The intentions are good, but the way it came out. If I was in your place, some of the salary folks try to reduce their taxes. No cheating, no evading, no avoiding as a keynote speaker. Second, I will prove you wrong. Now, you know you're a trainer, you're a teacher. But here, as an audience, you have to take it. Now, please allow me to throw some light on it. I'm sure you'll know, I'll just add my 2 bits to it. Humility. I'm going to test your listening skills. I was scared. What the hell? My 7th grade, 8th grade, I know my dishwater down 10 marks. I fell down the dishwater again. Back to school again, that famous song. So, friends, I know it's a lengthy speech. Let me please help me understand whether I have made myself clear. God, that's leadership language. And a keynote speaker, nothing short of a leader. And one more thing, credibility. Very, very important. The audience must look up to you that you are the man to give this speech. If I were in your place, I request the TMOD to Toastmaster Shashank, how many years are you in this profession? In this teaching and taxing? Huh? 9. That's almost a decade. I request you to Robinson. 9 years, closing a decade. How many students you've trained? Approximately, ballpark figure. As if it's 9 or 10. 9 to 10,000 students might fail by him for 9 long years. And who better talk about taxing? How does that sound? Now that, the eyes of the audience, the credibility just skyrockets. Just a few suggestions, I am sure you are going to go to the real estate official speaking. Before I conclude, I just want to say one thing. We all thought old is gold when it comes to old regime. But very few knew what the new regime is. No one would debate about rebate. And if we ask you tips about taxing, you will not debit that account. The credit goes to you. You're an absolutely industrious person. Dressed for the occasion, a lot of content and an expert. Wishing you all the best. We're going to see you on the days as a professional speaker. Back to the G.
Thank you. Just to bring things to perspective, he spoke for 22 minutes, he spoke for 1/5 of that. How much? How long did Vijay speak? 7 minutes. 7 minutes. So totally 22 plus 7 minutes. We asked for 3 minutes.
So you are content to valid.
Correct. Yeah. We thought it was 3.5, 4. It doubled that. That's because your house properties are doubling high. Keep it up means next time you should give a 25-minute evaluation for a 22-minute. We should have the evaluation first and then the speech. But fantastic, Anand, for taking so much of my time. But anyway, a great evaluation with a lot of insights for Shashank, and I think so Shashank, he proved you wrong. Yeah. No, he didn't prove you wrong. He gave you a lot of good tips. Now let's go on to the table topics session which we had. It was a brilliant session, Amaan. I think so you're doing it for the first time. I think so the topics were very simple, very good, and I think so you understood the person whom you're calling when you gave the speech. You know Srinivas Vungarala is frustrated with his job. You know Puneeth is frustrated not getting married. So and both of them lived up to that. Puneeth said explore. Correct or no? Srinivas said leave the job. You know Shivangi, but looks like a teacher or wanting to marry a teacher or whatever it is. Correct? And you gave her that. How did you find out all this, Amaan? Correct? Brilliant. Means what homework, what background you did, right? You know Srinivas, he lies with his wife, so he lie over here also. Whatever he does, correct? But everybody brought out their own unique perspective. One fellow told lies, one fellow got frustrated with his job. Everybody had their own. Gangaadhar is doing tabla nowadays. Wonderful. I thought somebody was playing something on his head. Correct? But whatever. Correct? But everybody had something to bring about in their table topics, which was very, very good. Aman, I loved the aspects of your speech where everybody spoke something. But I have one suggestion, Aman. Please connect. When one person has finished his speech, suppose Srinivas finished his lottery, you just say, Srinivas, fantastic, I know you love your lottery. Now let's move to the other one. So you give a human touch to the person who's completed. Because table topics are not only just giving topics, but also listening to what you have said, right? So you listen to the person and try and connect it. So next time just keep this in mind that you have to connect and at least say one line or 2 words of encouragement or something so that the other speaker, and make the speaker comfortable on stage after you finish that, right? So for that, I think so, as Abhay Kothari said, you'll have a good year ahead if you keep these things in mind. So with that, let's move on to the last segment of the evaluation, which is the timer, R counter and the grammarian. For the timekeeper's role, we have Palak. So Palak, you can stand there itself and tell. You've already come.
Good evening, everyone. So I would like to say that all the speakers today were well within the time. So good luck. Good job, everyone.
She's scared of Vijana, but doesn't matter. Okay. As the R counter, we have Ujjain. Ujjain, please don't become like Vijana, then keep it short. Right? Yeah.
The last thing I thought that would happen today when I was the arc was that I'll be part of this notorious list myself. In fact, I belong to the category, the lowest here, that is 5+. But funnily enough, everybody has scored pretty bad today. I don't know why. Anyway, scores are as follows. 0, just 3 people. Toastmaster Priyanka, Gangaadhar and Abhay. 1 to 5, Toastmaster Jose, Prakarsh, Rashi, Shivangi, Palak, Robinson sir, Puneeth, Srinivas, Ganesh, Chaitra, Vijay, Anand sir. 5+, Toastmaster Shreya, myself, Toastmaster Shashank. You were amazing except you used it right too many times. Toastmaster Amaan, Toastmaster Kamlesh, Toastmaster Chiranth, Toastmaster Sudipto. I think all of us have to work on our fillers this time.
Thank you for working on your time, right? Yeah. And finally, we have Rashi to give us the grammarian's report.
So I think today the fancy words and the dazzling statements did outweigh the slip-ups. I would like to begin with the slip-ups. I rushed him, should have been I rushed to him. Myself and the driver should have been driver and myself. My mistake, I made it, should have been my mistake, I did it. Lottery is coming, could have just rather been lottery on the way. Very, very challenging, could have just been used as extremely challenging. And all across most of the country could have just been all across the country. The good usages include the words like poised, baffling, don't wait, instead explore. Necessity is the mother of invention, father is time. Life is a confluence of both deeds and destiny. Teach in a basic and simple manner. Train which would never arrive. And speaker attained enlightenment. The word of the day was used by very few people, rather only 3 of them. Toastmaster Amaan, DTM, Anand and myself. I hope I haven't missed out anyone. And lastly, I would just like to say, deeds decide destiny, so does your command over language. Back to you.
Thank you for that very nice evaluation of the grammar. When Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay had conquered Mount Everest and they were giving their press conference after conquering Mount Everest, one of the journalists jokingly asked Edmund Hillary, "What have you got for us from Mount Everest?" And Edmund Hillary thought for a little while and then he showed his hands which were in gloves. He removed the glove and there was something very shocking to the audience. 2 of his fingers had been cut off. And he said, "When I was climbing Mount Everest and we were just around 200 meters, I got gangrene on my fingers and I had to make a choice whether to climb or to get those fingers cut off. Tenzing told me, come back, there's no point, the gangrene spreads you on. I told him, no, cut my fingers. I cut those fingers and today I'm standing in front of you. I didn't get anything from Mount Everest, but I gave 2 of my fingers to Mount Everest." I think so all of us every week give 2 hours to Toastmasters to climb the Mount Everest of public speaking. And I think so just like Edmund Hillary, we all should be proud that we are members of this Toastmasters, and I thank the committee, Chief, Jose and everybody else for giving me this opportunity to be the general evaluator. Thank you very much. And back to the Toastmasters.
That was our legend, Dr. Rajdeep Manwani, whom I refer to as a gift to our club. Thank you, Mr. Rajdeep Manwani, for conducting your session so excellent, very good. The password for the voting link is VTMC, all capital letters. I thank everyone for giving me this opportunity to be the Toastmaster of the day. And I also thank all the role takers for their cooperation. Forward to the President.
Dear Toastmasters and guests, we had such a wonderful meeting, and two most respectable members of our club, Mr. Robinson D'Souza and Dr. Rajdeep, really gave us a wonderful time, along with all the other great role takers today. So let's hear it for all of them. And of course, those who have worked behind this, Toastmaster Sheep, Toastmaster Vishal, and the other committee members, let's hear it for them too. And one announcement, I think we are waiting for the articles from all the members for the newsletter. Please, I think you have a long weekend, so please do spend some time on putting down your thoughts, and we look forward to a wonderful article that can enrich the rest of the members. The Best Auxiliary Role Taker Award goes to someone who wanted us to improve our language, and as the leads decide destiny, so does grammar to the language. So here it is for the grammarian Toastmaster Rashi Palwata. Best Evaluator Award. Now, he really showed the entire thing about how professionalism works at the beginning of a professional speech. So let's hear it for DTM Vijay Anand.
Just want to clear the air. Now, a 7-minute speech at Toastmasters is 3-minute evaluation.
You
There
said
is
evaluation for 9 minutes.
22 minutes. We'll agree it's about 3 speeches. Toastmasters, how much time did I take?
7 minutes, 20 minutes.
Yeah, so with 3 speeches, we are 9. I requested the Vice President of Education, Mr. Toastmaster, to give me more time, because the idea is not to take up stage time. My only intent was what little I learned, I'm trying to share with the club. Hope it benefits all. I rest my case. Thank you, President.
Thank you. What we would do next time is announce it just before the speech. I think that is something that we will do.
Evaluating award to say how much. Evaluating award finish in 3 minutes. You can't say 7 minutes.
No, but if it's decided earlier to that, we will make an announcement. I think that's something that we will do. Now, the Best Table Topic Speaker Award. I really thought invention was a single parent, had a single parent, but today we came to know that double parent, and time is the father of invention. For the wonderful message, Toastmaster Abhay Kothari. Best Role Taker Award. He gives a distinct flavor to our club each time he takes a role, or anytime he comes to the club, and he's taken our clubs to different levels, and today he's christened it differently also, Bangalore Toastmasters Club. So here it is to the best, to the General Evaluator, DTM Dr. Rajdeep Manwani. The Best Speaker Award, of course, we got to know so much about the old regime and the new regime of taxation. Toastmaster Shashank. seniors to come here with their certificates for photograph. Just another announcement, we have some snacks here and I would request first the guests to please take your snacks and join our VP membership Toastmaster Ryan D'Souza, who would give you some information on Toastmasters and join the club. And following that, I request our members to network and have the snacks. It was a wonderful meeting. Every good thing has to come to an end, and so is our meeting. I adjourn meeting number 1448. Have a great weekend. Thank you.